This video is on adding and subtracting mixed numbers, and it's the same exact examples or questions in the last video, except for we're going to use a slightly different method. In the last video, I added the whole number parts of the mixed numbers before adding or subtracting the proper fractions that came with each mixed number. But in this video, I'm going to change the mixed numbers to improper fractions, and then we're going to add or subtract those improper fractions. So for the first example, what we need to do is change, just grab my pen. We need to change each of the mixed numbers to improper fractions. So we've got 2 3s, which is 6, plus 2 is 8 on 3, and 8 3s are 24, plus 1 is 25, all over 8. So now I need a common denominator. So I've got 8 and 3, lowest common denominator is 24. And now I'm going to need to change my numerators because I've changed the denominators. So to go from 3 to 24, I've times by 8. So I'm going to do the same thing to the, to the numerator. And 8 eighths give me 64. To go from 8 to 24, times by 3. So I'm going to do the same to the numerator. 25 times 3, 75. Now I can add my numerators as I have a common denominator of 24. So we're going to add over here 64 plus 75. That gives me 4 5s are 9, 6 7s are 13. So I've got 139 on 24. I think it's a good idea to leave your answer in the same form as your question. So the question consists of mixed numbers, so we're going to leave our final answer as a mixed number as well. So we need to roughly think how many times 24 goes into 139. I know that 24 times 10 is 240, and this is a little over half of that. So I'm guessing it's going to be either 5 times or 6 times. So let's have a look at 5 first. 24 times 5. 4 5s are 20, carry the 2. 2 5s are 10, plus the 2 is 12, and bingo, that'll do it. So 24 goes into 139 5 times. That gives me 120, which I found over here. And that leaves a remainder of 19, because I'm getting, my numerator is 139. So we've got a remainder of 19 all over 24. Right, let's have a look at another example. This one we are subtracting. So once again, I'm going to change, need to pick up my pen. Need to change my mixed numbers to improper fractions. So 6 5s are 30, plus 2 is 32, on 5. And here we've got 3 4s are 12, plus 1 is 13, all over 4. So I've got 5 and 4. My lowest common denominator, if I have 5 and 4, is 20. So now I'm going to change my numerators accordingly. To go from 5 to 20, I times by 4. So I'll do the same to the numerator. If you need to, you can go off to the side and work out what that is. 2 4s are 8. 3 4s are 12. Gives me 128 as my new numerator. To go from 4 to 20, we're timesing by 5 times by 5. We've got to work out what 13 times 5 is. Pays to know your times table as well. 3 5s are 15, carry 1. 5 1s are 5, plus 1 is 6. So we get 65. Alright, now that I have a common denominator of 20, I can subtract my numerators. So we've got 128 minus 65. 8 minus 5 is 3, and 12 minus 6 is 6. So we end up with 63 on 20. And once again, my question is in the form of mixed numbers, so I will leave my answer in the same form. So to change 63 on 20 to a mixed number, 20 goes into 63 3 times, remainder 3, all over 20. And that's my final answer. A few reminders to you about setting out, and this is pretty important to me. It won't result in a wrong answer, but it makes your answer much harder to read. Please work down the page. Okay, it makes it much easier to read your solution if it works down continuously. Sometimes students work down and then all of a sudden go to the right. Try to be consistent and start each line with an equal sign. An equal sign at the beginning of each line. Have a think about which method you prefer. Like I said before, a bit of flexibility is good. Depending on the numbers in the question, you might choose one method over the other. I do have a preference for method 1 because I think it is faster, definitely more efficient. That's up to you to decide.